Okay, so what if your grocery bill could actually pay for your retirement? I know, it sounds wild, but there's this app called Lisa that's making exactly that promise. It claims to turn your everyday shopping, the stuff you buy anyway, into a source of passive income. That is a very bold claim, so let's dig in and break down exactly how this is all supposed to work.
I mean, it sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? The idea that the money you're already spending could somehow be funneled back to you. And we're not talking about a one-time cashback deal here. We're talking about a consistent monthly payment. That's the really powerful concept, the big idea, right at the heart of this Lisa app.
So, to really get our heads around this, we're going to break it down piece by piece. We'll start with the basics. What is the Lisa app? Then we'll get into how you actually start, and of course, how you earn those points. After that, we'll look at the really crucial part, that shift from just spending to actually investing. Then the big question, the income and other benefits. And finally, we'll tie it all together and look at that whole journey from consumer to investor. Sound good? Let's jump in. All right, let's dive into section 1. What is the Lisa app really? While the promise itself feels brand new, the business model it's built on, well, it's actually something you've probably heard of. So at its core, at its very foundation, the app uses something called drop shipping. Now, if you're not familiar, it just means that when you buy a product, it ships directly from the manufacturer right to your door. It basically cuts out the middleman. It's a super efficient e-commerce model for sure. But this is just the starting point for what Lisa is doing here. And here's where things get interesting. This is the key twist. See, standard dropshipping is just a simple transaction, right? You buy something, it gets sent to you. End of story. But the Lisa Apps model, it's different. It's actually designed to build a network, a whole community around all these purchases. And that community part, that's absolutely essential for how this whole income model is supposed to function. And believe it or not, it all kicks off with a dual mission. On one hand, the app says it wants to promote an anti-plastic message. And the entry point, the way you get into this whole system, is by buying one single, simple item, a cotton bag. Okay, so that brings us to the next logical question. How do you actually get started on this platform? Well, it's a pretty straightforward 3-step process. It's simple, really. First, you just install the app. Step 2, you make that one-time initial purchase of a cotton bag. And as soon as you do that, boom, the system generates a unique code just for you. And that unique code, that is the absolute key to the entire system. Seriously, think of it like your digital fingerprint inside the app. It connects every single thing you do, your shopping, the people you refer, and all your earnings directly back to your account. It's what makes it all work. So once you're in the system and you have your code, the name of the game is all about accumulating points. So let's take a look at the 2 main ways that actually happens. Okay, the first way is super straightforward. You get points from a profit share on your own purchases. Things like everyday spices, chili powder, stuff like that. But the second way, this is where that network effect really kicks in. You also earn a profit share from every single purchase made by anyone who signs up using your unique code. See how that starts to build? So what's the goal here? What are you aiming for? Well, the target for every single user is to hit 7,000 points. That number, 7,000, that's the magic number. It's the key that unlocks the entire investment side of this app. Because reaching those 7,000 points, that triggers a fundamental shift. This is the moment where your activity as just a regular consumer starts to literally transform into the capital of an investor. And this idea really gets to the core promise of the whole thing. The concept is that you're turned into an investor without directly investing. You're not putting your own money into stocks or anything like that. Instead, you're becoming an investor simply through your regular, everyday shopping. So how does that actually work? Well, once you hit that 7,000 point threshold in your wallet, those points are automatically converted into investment capital. You don't have to do a thing. The app then takes this capital and invests it in other businesses on your behalf. All right, now for the part I'm sure everyone is waiting for. What's the actual payoff? What do you get for reaching this goal and having your points invested? Well, the main result is a monthly income. It's a share of the profits from those investments, and it's paid out to you every single month. They actually describe it as a pension, a steady, recurring stream of income. So what kind of money are we talking about here? In practice, the numbers they suggest have a really wide range. It could start as low as 400 rupees a month, but it could potentially grow to 40,000 rupees or even more. Now, that huge difference likely depends on a couple of big things: how well the investments are doing, and this is crucial, the size and the shopping activity of your referral network.
And that monthly income isn't the only thing you get. There are other perks too. The system apparently includes eligibility for monthly prizes, which is cool. It also gives you a platform to market your own products to the community if you have any. And they even say they'll mail you a physical card with all your income details once you reach that investment stage.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and put all of these pieces together. Let's look at the entire journey from start to finish. And here it is, the full cycle. It all starts with something you do anyway, shopping for your daily needs. That shopping earns you points from the profits. Once you hit that magic number of 7,000 points, they automatically become an investment. And finally, that investment generates a recurring monthly income for you. It's a complete loop that's designed to transform a regular consumer into an investor.
So this leaves us with a pretty big question, right? Is this model, is it truly a brand new financial paradigm that turns our everyday expenses into actual investments? Or is it maybe a really sophisticated, gamified rewards program, all built on top of a network marketing engine? The line between those two things, well, it's definitely something to think about.